average, around every 20 minutes, someone in the UK is admitted to a major trauma centre with life-changing injuries. The majority of us will never experience the horror of a traumatic accident. But for those in the moment, it can feel like their whole world has changed forever, leaving them feeling not only pain, but alone as well. It's a feeling I know only too well when I suffered life-changing injuries from an explosion when serving in the Royal Marines. Yet, it is one charity's vision to ensure that no one is left to cope with a catastrophic injury on their own. And they're called Day One Trauma Support. They offer practical and emotional support to anyone who's experienced major trauma in the UK. In 2021, Lucy from Ripon in Yorkshire was out driving with her mum when their car broke down. Getting out of the vehicle, she was hit by a tractor, leaving her fighting for her life.
I quite vividly remember being taken under the tractor. I got caught with the back wheel.
Lucy sustained injuries so severe that they were likened to that of a military bomb blast survivor.
I had the right side of my pelvis amputated along with my right leg. I'd broken my back. I'd had to have a hysterectomy.
Lucy spent a total of 18 months in hospital, undergoing many operations.
I had dreams and ambitions. I always wanted to be a teacher, and that was taken away from me in a split second. I just remember thinking, my life is over.
It was during this time that our family found Day One Trauma's bedside support team.
I had a lot of support from Marianne in particular. If I needed advice, if I needed a hug, if I needed a handhold, she was that person for me in my recovery.
Lovely to see you. Yeah, you too. Come on.
Over the next year and a half, Lucy developed a supportive bond with Marianne that lasts to this day.
I don't think I'd be where I am today without Day One. I'm back to going out with my friends, and I've got that spark back for education and teaching. It's really nice to just know that I've always got Day One. They will always be a part of my life now.
Day One Trauma's vital bedside support provides comfort and counselling in several major trauma centres around the country. Their services continue long after the hospital stays have come to an end. Their mantra is help support everyone, everywhere, from day one, for as long as it takes. 7-year-old Lily May was severely injured in a Zorb ball accident. Her mum, Katie, witnessed the traumatic event.
When the accident happened, her eyes went very puffy, her nose was very big, it was bleeding. We took her to the hospital, and a doctor came and literally scooped her out of her arms and took her. We realised quite how significant her injuries were. It was really scary.
With 15 breaks in her skull, Lily May also had fluids leaking from her nose. She spent the next 7 days under critical medical observation.
I've never seen her cry so much. It was heartbreaking. She couldn't see for several days. It was really scary for her.
Needing further support on their return home, Day One Trauma was there to help.
The telephone support that we got when we were leaving the hospital is where Day One really came in. Finding appointments for us, financial help because I had to leave my job to look after Lily May, support for counselling for myself, my son and Lily May's dad. They just took it and sorted it for us. Having that support of knowing I can ring someone, say how I was feeling, and there's no judgment, just having that person there was really unbelievable.
Lily May's experience of what Day One support can do inspired her to start fundraising for the charity.
I made some lemonade and one of my friends from school came to help me sell it. The lemonade stand raised £2,000. I was surprised about that because we were selling it for free, but people were giving me lots of tips.
Lily May's bones are fully healed. Without Day One, I wouldn't have been able to cope. They just took so much of the stress away. I just can't be thankful enough for everything that they've done.
The recent expansion of the charity's services has meant they're reaching more people than ever, which is why now they need your support to attain their goal, that no one should be left to rebuild their life on their own.
The need for support has increased dramatically over the years. We don't get any funding from the NHS or from the government. We rely solely on donations. We want to work in every major trauma centre in the UK. We want to reach every patient so that nobody's left to face major trauma on their own.
At the heart of Day One Trauma's ethos is offering hope and guidance to those who most need it in the most awful of circumstances. The charity expertly provides a peer support service staffed by survivors with lived experience of life-changing injuries, volunteers who inspire and give hope to others. Paul is one such person. He suffered the most horrendous injuries at the Manchester Arena bombing when picking up his daughter in 2017.
After the bomb went off, my vision turned red, and I felt like I was airborne. The next thing I knew, I was on the floor, knowing I was dying.
In that terrifying moment, Paul suffered broken bones, severe burns, and shrapnel embedded in his groin, pelvis, and back.
I stayed in hospital for 9 months. I've probably had around 65 procedures in all.
Paul's daughter survived, though tragically, his partner Elaine took the full force of the blast and was killed.
The loss of Elaine really was too much for me to cope with. I probably shut down on a lot of levels. I was brokenhearted.
During one rehab session, Paul was told about Day One and the support services available to people like him.
They put me in touch with a peer supporter, someone who suffered life-changing injuries. To be able to talk to someone and open up, hearing, what they've experienced, I just thought, wow, this is everything I've needed and wanted.
After numerous one-to-one sessions with his peer support volunteer, Paul felt that he could now help guide others through the most difficult period in their lives.
You've got a lot to deal with, but I think you're doing really well.
Seeing them change over the period of time I'm talking to them, that empowers me. It's win-win. If I hadn't have discovered Day One Trauma and received the peer support, I'd dread to think where I'd be. It was life-changing. Not a day that goes by that I don't miss and love Elaine. But I think she'd be proud of me from where I've come from to what I'm doing now.
For over a decade, Day One Trauma Support has secured help for thousands up and down the country. In the past year alone, around 2,000 people have had personal support after a major traumatic incident. To maintain that support, with the hope to increase it, they need your help, so they can reach even more people who are suffering in the most unimaginable circumstance. So for any amount you donate today, it will be matched pound for pound up to the value of £12,500 by supporters of the charity. So please, if you can, do give now. To find out more, visit the charity's website, dayonetrauma.org. Thank you for your support.